Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I am 27 weeks pregnant, so I'm going to give you an update on that, how I'm feeling, how baby is doing, any changes, and then we're gonna talk about why we aren't finding out the sex of our baby until baby arrives. Today is Monday, February 1st, and I am 27 weeks pregnant. This week, baby is the size of a cabbage or a bunch of bananas, a camping lantern, and a fennec fox without the tail. From head to toe, baby is measuring about 14.5 inches, and they have doubled their weight in a month at about 2 pounds. Next week begins my third trimester, and we have 13 weeks until my due date. Also this week, we reached a second viability milestone. At this point, baby's lungs are developed enough that they could survive Earthside. Something really interesting that I've learned this week is that baby has more taste buds now than they will ever have after birth and into their adulthood. This means that baby can taste whatever I'm tasting on about a 2-hour delay, and they may even start to react to some foods that I eat. Baby has also started to produce Vernix, which is that cheesy substance that babies have on their body when they're born. And we are actually going to choose not to bathe the baby for the first 24 hours because that Vernix, the longer you can let it stay on their skin and even rub it in like lotion, helps promote successful breastfeeding. So because of that, we are not going to be bathing the baby right away in the hospital. And I'm gonna share more of the things that we are planning to delay or planning to encourage during birth in my birth plan video in a couple of weeks. At this point, all of their organs are pretty much fully developed, and so from now on, the progression and the growth will be mostly in baby's brain. They are learning to use their brain to control their body movements, to regulate their lungs and their temperature. This also means that they're starting to have more control and more choice over their sleep and wake schedule. Baby is now opening and closing their eyes, and their nerves that connect from their brain to their ears are almost done maturing. So this means that baby can recognize my voice, recognize Brian's voice, and I'm really noticing that because I will have a very still and quiet baby all morning while I'm working from home. But when Brian comes home for lunch and the baby hears Brian's voice, I get tons of movement and tons of wiggling. So that's a sign to me that they've already sort of been recognizing our voices because we are reading books to them, talking to them, singing to them. Their ears are starting to become covered in that Vernix that I talked about earlier. And so even though their nerves in their ears have matured, it is kind of a muffled sound. As far as how I'm feeling, there's not a ton of change. Baby is getting bigger, and I can definitely feel that in my body, in my hips, in the muscles on the sides. I found a few new stretch marks this week. I've had a little bit more restless leg syndrome, but nothing unmanageable. And honestly, we got my birthing ball, my exercise ball all blown up, and it has been incredibly helpful just in like a day or two of use. Bouncing on the ball, stretching with the ball, and honestly, it is so much more comfortable than sitting on the couch because I'm not reclined back. Just the being able to sit up straight and use my posture to hold myself up on the ball. This week, I am going to be really brave and pack my mask and my water bottle and head to the gym on base to walk the track. I really wanted to start walking earlier, but as you know, winters in Alaska are really hard. In fact, this week is supposed to be extremely cold, and with wind chill can even get up to -60 this week. Mind blown that that's even a real temperature that a place could be. But because of just the nature of the climate in the winter, it is really hard to get out and walk. So I try to do my stairs in the house every day, and even that, like, I'm so tired and I'm so sore that even that is difficult. So this week on Wednesday, I'm gonna get up to the gym, walk around the track a little bit, and just start practicing that. Now, once all the snow and ice melts, I would love to start walking around the neighborhood, but I have to wait. I have to wait for that. I'm also still feeling out of breath. Every pregnancy is different. I know that a lot of people think that only starts when you're really big and baby's pushing on your lungs, but I have felt out of breath since the second half of the first trimester, I was feeling out of breath constantly. If you go look at my videos, you can tell that. I have read a few things that say that you can start feeling out of breath immediately because you're doubling your blood when you're pregnant. Your blood doubles, and so it just kind of slows down the processes of everything in your body, and your lungs are included in that. So we were supposed to have our birth class yesterday, our first session of our birth class. So we did all of our homework the week before. We had a few videos to watch. It was a little less than an hour worth of videos that we were supposed to watch, and we did. Super fascinating, super interesting. I'm so excited to learn more about the process of birth, but it is being taught by our midwife, and she had a delivery yesterday, and so because of that, we had to reschedule it because she was helping to bring a new baby into the world, as a midwife does. So our class has been rescheduled for next week, so I'm postponing my excitement another full week, but I'm so excited to start learning about this process and how Brian and I can move through it together. I'm really excited. So now that I've caught you up on what's going on with me and baby 27 weeks into pregnancy, we are going to talk about a question that I get a lot, or a topic that we talk about a lot with people in our lives, or even sometimes people that comment on our videos. And first I'll start by saying, if you are new here, or if you haven't watched in a while, you'll notice that I keep saying they when referring to the baby. That is because we are choosing not to find out the sex of our baby until our baby is born. So I'm not saying they because there's more than one baby in my stomach. I'm saying they because we don't know if they are a boy or a girl, a she or a he, so we are saying they. And this always leads to, oh my gosh, you're not finding out if you're having a boy or a girl? That would make me crazy. And I totally understand that. I understand the want and the need to be able to plan, to be able to pick out a wall paint for your nursery, or to buy certain things for baby. So I totally get that. This video is not to say that the way that Brian and I have chosen to do this is the right way or the best way. It's just the way that works best for us. We thought it would be fun and exciting and mysterious to wait until baby is here. And so that's why I'm making this video, just to kind of explain our thought process behind that. So there's three main reasons that I claim for wanting to wait to find out the sex of our baby. The first reason is a reason that might make some people roll their eyes, and that's okay. I don't want to, from the womb, and I don't want other people from the womb to kind of stereotype or put a bias or an expectation on what baby should be or might be like based on being a boy or a girl. I don't want them to just be automatically filed into this is their personality or this is who they are because they're a boy or because they're a girl. I also know that Brian and I would like to have other children, and so I thought that if we got a ton of blue stuff or a ton of pink stuff or a pink bassinet, that if we got a ton of stuff that was seemingly more specific to one sex, to boy or to girl, then that would kind of make it more difficult to reuse those things for future kids that we might have. The second reason is I heard someone say really early on that it helped push them through labor to know that they were going to not only see what they looked like or what color hair they had, but to also see if it was a boy or a girl. And I love the idea of having that to kind of fuel me and push me, especially in those last couple steps of labor where things are getting really hard and you're having to kind of hang in there, even if you're tired or worn out. I love having this one more motivator to push me forward and to help me keep going in the middle of labor. And the final reason is I just love the mystery of it all. And there's so few things in life, and especially in pregnancy, that Brian has been able to share with me or to surprise me with. You know, I got to tell him, guess what, I'm pregnant. I got to give him that great news. I just thought it would be so much fun if Brian got to hand me our child and say, this is our son or this is our daughter. And I just thought that would be a really special moment for him. We'll talk about this in my birth video too, but the idea that Brian would be able to help deliver our baby, bring our baby, greet our baby into the world, and then hand our baby to me and say, this is our son, this is our daughter. Or, you know, depending on if it's a boy or a girl, possibly say, this is our son, insert name here. I just thought that would be so special. What a special moment. What a special thing for us to share as a couple and as a brand new family. So what do you think? Does that make sense? Does that make it a little easier? Does that make people understand that I'm not crazy for not wanting to find out until baby is here? Maybe you still disagree, and that's totally okay. Feel free to share your opinions in the comments. But thank you again so much for watching this week's video. Next week starts my 3rd trimester, so I will have a 2nd trimester review and the things that I needed to get me through this 2nd trimester. It will be a shorter list because I've been feeling so good this trimester and not have as many issues as I did last trimester. So again, I so appreciate you watching this video. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. You can click down below to subscribe to my channel. And if you see the bell, go ahead and click the bell because it will notify you when I post a new video. If that subscribe is still red, that means you're not subscribed to my channel, so you're not gonna get updates in your subscription section of your YouTube account. And feel free to share this with a friend. If you or one of your friends is 27 weeks pregnant or somewhere in that area, I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know how your pregnancy is going. And I hope that you'll join me next week for my 2nd trimester review and must-haves, and I will see you next week.